Yeah, it's a beautiful chat that we get to hold, and I know that I'm busy shaking some tables, and maybe I'm in your business, and I like being in your business because, again, there is no way we are going to grow if I hold you with gloves, and sometimes I must be able to go bare knuckles, and sometimes I must be able to be truthful. Because one thing I have found to be very true is that so many of us don't like thinking. We like masking ourselves in the comfort zones without using our minds to think and to dig us out of the holes or ditches that we are in. And let me tell you, the longer we protect our minds from thinking, because thinking is hard, and we don't want to do the hard things. I remember there's a time I talked about us doing hard things, and people were telling me, must everything be hard? Let me tell you, there is no easy way, and there is no smart way out of it other than working hard, other than putting in the effort, other than putting one foot in front of the other. And a time comes when just lifting your foot and putting it in front of the other is actually the hardest thing. Ask me, literally. There's a time, some of you have seen me in the periods where I'm pregnant and I look like an elephant. Yeah, that is how much I put on weight. Like, I will bulge, I'll be like a balloon. I mean, I will, but there are so many of those times whenever I would be pregnant that I would even fail to lift my own leg. You know how to lift your own leg and put it when you're getting into a car, and you just feel like, you know what, someone should actually be able to help you. And let me tell you, so many of those times I would get to the car, and actually my husband knew it. So I'll get to the car, he will wait to go to his side, he will come with me through my side, make sure that, my duty was to just sit, and then he would help me, literally help me, because my legs will be so swollen, because, I carry like too huge, like more, not most, but two of my babies were actually 5 kilograms at birth. Two of them, 5 kilograms at birth. So just imagine the weight of the baby, and then me bulging all the way through, the pelvic pain. And the pelvic pain actually was the greatest source of my hindrance in movement. So I'll just sit, and then he would help me lift the legs into the car, and we would go, and I would not stop anything. I'm usually very energetic, but very overweight when I'm pregnant. So I will move and I will work until the last day when I'm supposed to actually give birth. But you realize that when our movements are hindered, and I use that as an example, when our movements are hindered, that means there is no impact that we are actually making. We need to be able to help ourselves, because it is hard. And I would have chosen in those moments to say, oh, let me stay home until the 9 months are finished. Let me tell you, some of my greatest monies that I have made them pregnant, because I have never stayed home while I'm pregnant. No. Even with all the overweight and every sickness that comes with it and every trials that comes with it, I have been through the worst. But let me tell you, even when I am through the worst, I have made most of my money while I am actually pregnant, working, fully functional, and I could have just sat down. And by the way, someone would have taken care of me. I would have been very comfortable. I would have been just sleeping and wobbling around like a duck, and then go back to bed, and then wake up, and then eat some more, and just sit and watch TV and what. No, that's not like me. I remember one time the doctor told me that, you know what, you're supposed to be on bed rest. And I was like, my goodness, katika wedemu. Like, seriously. Even Tim looked at me, I was like, Hilda wange, liro, mbamokute. And even when they told me bed rest, guess what? I would tell him, yeah, you're moving out of the house. You know what? Let's just go for a ride. Okay, maybe I'll not move out of the car, but I'll stay in the car. But still, I would not stay home. Because for me, the functionality of the brain and being exposed out there was much more important, because I knew the moment I was in one place, I would actually get so stuck in my brain, and I would actually not be well. Okay, I know some of you know this, that you're so much used to working and being out there that staying in one place actually bores you, and you feel like you are useless at all levels. So it is hard, but can you lift one foot and put it in front of the other? It is hard, but can you task your brain to think? Can you not avoid thinking? In the moments where you bump your head, and I call it bumping your head because it is painful, the seasons of transition, of seasons of getting tired of one level and getting into another level, the seasons of becoming are painful, very painful. Now, that is why I call it bumping your head on a glass ceiling, on a stress ceiling, on an agitation ceiling, on a frustration ceiling, okay? Now, that is where you're supposed to say, what am I missing? What are the missing links? What am I not getting right? What is this situation telling me? But do you know that most of the times we ride on the kafem that we had. We ride on the knowledge that we have. We ride on the capacity we've been surviving at, not knowing that once we break through the ceiling, there is actually more growth, and not just growth, but thriving and flourishing, because that is what we want. But now, because where the level of survival is a bit comfortable, we are earning less money, and we have a small operation, and we are doing things like in small. Like, we are not just going over the bar. We are not breaking even. It is not, we are not doing too much. But your system and everything around, your dissatisfaction, and let me tell you, that is an inbuilt thing. It's an inbuilt thing that when you get to a certain place and you're supposed to grow, you feel dissatisfied, even with the kind of money that you've been getting, even with the kind of relationship that you've been having, and you're supposed to just go a notch higher in the same relationship. You feel like, no. But this level of bickering, we are past it. This level of fighting, we are past. This level of constant conflict, we are past this. If we are supposed to be happy, there is another level that we must engage. Can we think? Can we sit down? Can we pray together? Can we talk about what are the differences? What have we been bickering about for the past 5 years? You will find that they are the same 4 things that you've been fighting about. You've been fighting about finances. Maybe you've been fighting about your sex life. Maybe you've been fighting about the in-laws. Maybe you've been fighting about, it's the same things, the children. You've been fighting about the same things. And mature people can fight for 20 years and they're fighting about the same thing. And by the way, your mind will never pick it that there are same things, the same cycles that you're fighting with. And guess what? You will always be in the blaming. Oh, she's a bad woman. Oh, he's a bad man. Oh, I wish I knew better. Oh, I wish I knew. You wish you knew better what? Can you trigger your mind? Can you task your mind to think? Because the moment you sit down with a pen and a paper and you ask yourself the right questions, you will always get the right answer. If you cannot think alone, go consult, go to a counselor, go to a coach, go to a person that you trust that can be able to give you wise counsel and say, you know what, for the past 15 years, I have been on the same journey. I have been on the same rotation, and I think I am tired. I think I need to grow, and I think I need to be better. I need to be happier in life. What am I missing? And this person will ask you the right questions, because that is what we do. To facilitate your growth, I will ask you the right questions. For example, when you come to me, and ask me, I've been doing this same business, and actually, the money is going down. And it has been going down for the past 10 years. And some of us, because we are proud, we are not willing to disclose that we are shaken and we are not making it in life. So, sometimes, by the way, some people's wives have come to me and told me that, you know what? My husband's business is coming down at a very terrific speed. For the past 10 years, we have not grown an inch, but we are going down. We are losing money. And on top of that, even the people in the shops that are even stealing from us. But my husband will not lift a finger to do anything. He still wants to bask in the glory that he had. He still wants to bask in the friendships that he still had, but the friendships that are not benefiting him, the friendships that are not adding anything to him, the friendships where he feels that in that circle he's the richest, or he's the brightest, and there is no one that is challenging him. So no one is challenging him to grow, and he cannot think, and he's afraid to take any step. And the wife is like, can you help? Can you help? Because we are losing. At some point, my children will not go to school. At some point, we will not even have what to eat. And yet, everyone thinks we are mighty and we are up there, but we cannot even admit that our empire is collapsing and crumbling. Now, what more self-sabotage do you need apart from that? Self-sabotage. It's something that it makes me feel bad. And I think there are people that have actually named me. I think there are people that whenever they hear me say, speak, they hear self-sabotage, because it is the worst thing to stand in your own way. It is the the worst thing for you to say, I did it to myself. Then how do you go from that? How do you grow from that? Okay, that I stood in my own way. But my best experience is we still have a chance to be able to redeem ourselves, okay? We still have a chance to be able to redeem ourselves. Read the strength signal and don't give yourself, don't hesitate. Think, okay? And make sure that you understand that it is necessary for you to grow to get that skill set. What skill set are you? I mean, have you been a mechanic for the longest time? And I've seen mechanics go through this for the longest time, because they've been known to be like the mechanics, and they work only on Benzes. And in this season of their lives, they've been self-sabotaging. Why? Because you take a car to someone, and they cannot, instead of working on it, they're actually breaking it even more. They are sabotaging it even more. And all of a sudden, it comes back with 3 more problems. You took it with 1 problem, but it comes back with 3 more problems. Another time, maybe you don't, because we don't just go to garages to rectify problems. Sometimes, maybe you want to pimp your car. You want to put on something, but you even take it to be pimped, and you come back with another breakdown, or you come back with another problem. Just know, when you see those signs, just know that you are going down. Just know that there is a problem, whether it's in your system, whether it's in your knowledge, in your functionality. Just know that there is a problem that must be addressed, because if you don't address that problem, no one is coming back to you. People are going to sign out of your garage one by one, and they'll be like, you know what? I think I've been merciful enough. I think some people have been coming to your business because they have known you for the longest time, and they don't want to annoy you. But maybe the donuts you've been making are sucking right now. Maybe you started well, but all of a sudden you started going bad and going bad. Maybe it was a restaurant and it was doing so well. And all of a sudden right now people come because of the name that you had, and that is 5 years ago. But whenever they come to eat, they are disappointed, and all of a sudden they will think, maybe it is just today, maybe I'll come back another time, maybe I'll come. They come thrice, they come 4 times, 5 times, and it's the same bad food, and they're like, you know what, I think they just remained with just a name, but they are no longer as good as they used to be. I don't know how many times you've had things like that, whether it's a shop, whether it's a supermarket, whether it's a grocery shop, whether it's a company. By the way, they're like, you know what, there is a way we bask in the glories of our past, and we're still talking about this. You know, but you know that 10 years ago, you know, I was doing this. Why don't you tell us this year? Why don't you tell us now? What are you doing now? If you're still basking in the glory of 10 years, you know, me, I was super anointed. Do you know that I used to do my hand like this and people would fall? If you do your hand like that right now, do people fall? And the falling is actually not the anointing. Are people being transformed when you speak? Or you can say, you know, me, I built an empire. You know, the empire was growing and growing and everything. You know, the things were really good. Why do you speak in past tense? That means you got to a point and started self-sabotaging. When you started self-sabotaging, you started going down. But you did not redeem yourself. Why? Because you did not want to admit to the fact that was happening. Because the fact is so scary. Very scary for you to think that, you know what, I used to be a better person, but now, or I used to do good, but now actually things are worse. For some of us, it's ministries. I mean, you were at a building, you know, going high, numbers, people coming in. And I'm not saying that numbers mean that you are actually doing well, but chances are where there is something good, people will want to gather. So all of a sudden, you started fighting with people getting out. You started fighting with people getting out. And you're still saying, you know, but you know, 20 years ago, you know, 5 years ago, you know, before what? Maybe you were building honestly. You were a people person as a minister. You minded about people's growth. You went before God and prayed. You invested time in finding and looking for the right word to give to the people. You invested, and now you are operating in what would I say? Complacency of when I come, I will just say, there are so many words that I've been hearing. I've been listening to so many YouTube videos. I've been doing what? So I will just bring my, my expertise. And then I will just preach, preaching on Sunday. And then you come and say those words that people used to say. Chitwali, get it and, claim it. Let me tell you, claiming it is no longer working for some people. No. Some people have reached a certain level of maturity that they need the hard food to be able to trigger their thinking, to be able to trigger their functionality, to be able to trigger their personal relationship with God, to be able to trigger the next level of their lives. And chitwale and climate is never going to cut it. So while you're still operating and basking in the glory of the past, it's good to acknowledge that the glory existed, but it's good to know that you're supposed to move from glory to glory. And when you are in another dimension of glory, you will find it very hard to talk about the past glory. But we refer to the past glories because they were better than the glory that we are in right now. So that means there is a depreciation of glory. The glory can depreciate. Oh my God. I know that some of you have me. Some of you would love to strangle me at some point, but it's okay. Come and find me in my home. Maybe God sent me to you. And while I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself. I'm speaking to myself. We should never reach a certain level and grow complacent, because that is the death of most of us. That's the death of most leaders. Oh, I led a huge, I led this company into achieving this, into achieving these territories, into achieving, even when you come for an interview, because I recruit people all the time. You come to me and you're speaking about the past glories and there's nothing to show right now. Like, I think twice, because chances are you're going to feed me on those stories for the long time and you're not actually going to do anything about it. But if I see that you've been active now, if I see your actionality, your functionality, your activation, your enthusiasm about the now and the things that you're able to do, that is why in interviews we ask, what are you currently doing? Because if you tell me, oh, I've been out of employment for the past 10 years, but I led this company into this, and I helped them achieve that, and I helped them achieve that, and in the past 10 years, you've not helped anyone, not even yourself, to achieve anything, then I'm like, okay, I have to think twice. What is this person actually going to bring to the table? But it's possible that you're super gifted. It's possible that you've been self-sabotaging. It's possible that you've been seated in the comfort zone for the longest time. Let's talk about the other thing that I want us to be able to talk about, because sometimes we fail to go to the next level. We fail to break through that glass ceiling because we lack expectation. We lack expectation. Or we expect the bad things. I don't know whether you've seen people that have bad expectations all the time. Like, we focus on the bad things all the time. We never picture possibility. We are always picturing impossibility. I don't know whether you've seen people who are like that. It's very hard for you to actually think. Because the moment you are negative, the moment you don't have any expectation, let me tell you, the people that have come to me, mostly the people that have signed up for my signature program, the Accelerated Mentorship, most of the times the reason as to why they will actually sign up, it's because they have an expectation. It's because they have an expectation of being better speakers, being better coaches, being better business people. And so most of the times I'll even ask them, what are your expectations? By the time you're done with this program, where do you want to have gotten? What do you want to have achieved? Because then if we don't set that expectation, it's very hard to move towards it. We might miss the mark. So in order for me to move this journey with you, I must know, what do you want to achieve? And sometimes I'll even tell you, you are setting a lower, very low target. Can we set a higher target for yourself? Because it is achievable from experience. I have seen people hitting those targets and even higher. So you realize that expectation is the mother of innovation, is the mother of creativity, is the mother of thinking, is the mother of getting out of our comfort zone, is the mother of perseverance. to talk about something. I think, let me just look for it here. When we talk about perseverance, and we talk about there's a race that is set before us. And I think Romans brings it out so well. And that Romans 12, yes, Romans 12. If you're reading together with me, let's go to Romans 12 and be able to just read this very quickly, and then we can go back to what we were talking about. It says that, therefore, since we are surrounded by a certain great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders us. And now, let me just give context to this, because when we talk about the great cloud of witnesses, this is coming from a faith-driven kind of write-up. When you read Romans 11, you will see that so and so by faith, all the great people that we read about in the Bible, by faith, they were able to accomplish certain things, they were able to do certain things, they were able to do certain things. And so it comes and says that, therefore, that means whenever in the Bible you read therefore, that means that we are coming from something, and so we are creating an expectation and anticipation about something. And so it says that, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, and a great cloud of witnesses, at some point I thought, oh, this great cloud of witnesses are people that are seated in heaven that died long time ago. They are not the dead people around us. Great cloud of witnesses. Let us throw off everything that hinders us. Okay, everything, like burdens that hinder us. Remember, we're talking about getting into the next level, and we're talking about how we self-sabotage from getting to the next level. And it says that, throw everything off. And one of the things that we are actually talking about here, because we were talking about faith in Romans 11, now that means the opposite of faith is doubt. The opposite of faith is disbelief. The opposite of faith is lack of expectation of good things or possibilities. Is being agitated and focusing on lack, focusing on the wrong picture, and focusing on impossibilities. So you realize that, throw off everything that hinders you, the doubt that you have. And it says, and the sin that easily entangles us. And when it talks about the sin, since we come from talking about faith, that means here, the only thing, the opposite of faith is doubt. So let us take away, because it entangles us. Now, so many of us are entangled in so many things, and that is why we are self-sabotaging. We are entangled. Okay, we are still holding on to the weights. We are still holding on to other people's expectations. We're still holding on to how our families have nurtured us and what they have passed down, the belief system they have passed down. We're still entangled by the system, the education system. We're still entangled by the bosses that employed us first, the people that have been in our lives, the relationships that we have gone into. If we look at everything, let me tell you, we might as well just throw in a towel. If I look at where I come from. If I look at the family that I grew up in, if I look the kind of life that I have lived, it was so easy for me to throw in the towel. But let me tell you, I have always had the expectation of everything is figure-outable. I can do everything. I can break through the glass ceiling. If so-and-so tells me, oh, it's not possible, I will say, look, just watch and see. It is very possible. I'm not going to dwell with you. I'm not going to linger with you. I'm not going to gossip with you. I'm not going to buy your small-mindedness. But I am going to tell you that I will figure it out. And let me tell you, I have figured it out. God and I have figured out so many things. Why? Because I got tired of self-sabotaging. I could have stayed in the comfort. But I said comfort is not serving me. Comfort is me dying. Okay? Discomfort is me growing. So it's okay. I'm going to embrace the discomfort, and I'm going to go on. And something else that I want us to be able to hint on is exaggeration. Some of us exaggerate. Okay? We exaggerate in our imagination, and we exaggerate all the bad things, instead of exaggerating the good things, by the way, because expectation exaggerates the good things. You're like, you know what? The people that have come into the mentorship, they're like, you know what? I envision being the greatest speaker. I envision being the greatest coach. I envision being a global influencer. I envision taking my business to where it is, to a global status. I envision this. And let me tell you, the people that have envisioned it, when we are starting the mentorship, I usually tell people that you you get out of this mentorship what you put in. If you put in the effort, I'm not going to do the work for you. I am here to facilitate your growth, but that's the best that I can do. You choose whether to grow or not to grow. So it's possible that you can pay me your money and you will not grow. And it's possible that you can pay your money and you will get more than the money that you ever paid. And let me tell you, to this extent, there are people that still give me a tithe, even when I'm not their pastor, as their mentor. And they tell me, you know what? If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be having these speaking engagements. I wouldn't be flying into other countries. I wouldn't be. And why? Because they put in the effort, because they had clear expectations they saw themselves flying out of the country, being greater speakers, building multitudes, building communities, and now they are able to do it. Expectation is the mother of confidence, is the mother of self-esteem, is the mother of hitting our targets, it's the mother of breaking away from self-sabotage and creating a vision that we want to hit and us moving towards actually hitting it. So I need you to be able to hit it. There are so many things that we could have talked about, but I need you to separate yourself from everything that is not serving you. Separate yourself from everything that is not serving you. If comfort is not serving you, separate yourself from it. But stop self-sabotaging. Grow, and grow some more, and grow some more, so you can grow other people. I love you. Bless you.